Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about social cognitive theory. This is a major framework in psychology that explains how people learn behaviors, form beliefs, and regulate their actions through a dynamic interaction of personal factors, behaviors, and the environment. It was developed by Albert Bandura and is widely used in psychology, education, public health, and communication. Next, I'm going to talk about key components of social cognitive theory. First one, observational learning. Second one, self-efficacy. Third one, outcome expectations. Fourth one, reinforcement. Last one, self-regulation. Uh, when we talk about observational learning, uh, people can learn new behaviors simply by watching others. So, this includes observing actions, consequences of those actions, and social norms. For an example, in the classroom, a child learns to act in the class by watching other students. Second one, self-efficacy. Self-efficacy means belief in your ability to perform a specific task. If you have high self-efficacy, you have greater motivation, and also if you have low self-efficacy, you avoiding the task and giving it up quickly. Bandura considered self-efficacy the strongest predictor of behavior change. Third one, outcome expectations. People act based on what they expect will happen as a result of their behavior. For an example, if I study, I will get a good grade. So, expectations are shaped by past experiences, observations, and social messages. Fourth one, reinforcement. Rewards or punishments that affects whether behavior is repeated. It can be internal pride or external praise. Last one, self-regulation. So, it can control their own behavior through goal setting, self-monitoring, evaluating progress, and adjusting actions. So, this recognize that humans are active beings, not just reactive beings. Next, I'm going to talk about how social cognitive theory matters. Social cognitive theory is powerful because it explains how people learn complex behaviors and also why motivation varies across people and how beliefs influence action and also social and environment factors shape human behaviors. Then let's see how the social cognitive theory we can use in real world. When we talk about education, teachers model problem solving strategies and the students learn from peers. Building students' self-efficacy is a primary goal. Furthermore, in education, this theory helps students understand how students learn from observing others, practicing skills, and developing beliefs about their own abilities. Now, I am going to talk about situations where the theory can be used in the classroom. For examples, students watch a peer perform a science experiment before trying it by themselves. And also, teachers can build self-efficacy by giving constructive feedback, celebrating progress and providing achievable challenges. Videos or role plays show examples of good communication or problem solving skills. And also, a positive classroom climate increases student motivation and leads to better participation. Students see classroom classmate praised for neat work and decide to improve their own. And also, group rewards motivate teams to collaborate and stay on the task. Furthermore, teachers can use modeling feedback, goal setting, and supportive environment to enhance student learning. When we talk about health psychology, public health campaigns also models to promote healthy behaviors. Doctors work to improve patients' self-efficacy for managing their chronic illness. Next, I'm going to talk about media and violence. The debate around violence in video games and movies is rooted in social cognitive theory. The concern that viewers, especially children, may imitate aggressive behaviors they see modeled. When we talk about the workplaces, in the workplaces, employee training often using modeling videos. Leadership development focuses on building managers' self-efficacy. Mentorship programs are based on observational learning. When we talk about psychotherapy, the therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy align closely with social cognitive theory by addressing the interplay between personal thoughts, behaviors, and social environment. As a conclusion, social cognitive theory presents and simply products of our environment or our biology. We are thinking beings, not who can learn from observing, reflect on our experiences, and exercise control over our own life. This social cognitive theory we can use in our educational activities to enhance teaching learning progress. So I hope you get a clear idea about social cognitive theory. Thank you.